All right, welcome back to D&D Run. So, last time you had made your way across a frozen lake or river, following through. Managed to talk to some of the people on the island, finding out there was a murder. You investigated, finding a number of different clues. You checked out the accused's house, um, found some pieces. Well, specifically, a knife was missing from the boat shed. You found in his home that a piece of furniture had been moved and hidden behind by somebody. You went to the area where the murder had taken place, found it was north of the public house. Uh, this was confusing to some people because it was not near any of the actual buildings in town. You went to the murder victim's home and went through his things. You found a ledger that discussed the tax collected. Um, you had also gone to the victim himself and used Speak with Dead to talk with him in order to get some more information about him, as well as going to the public house and talking with a couple of people there who he had spoken to that night. While you were at the public house, you saw one of the windows had been mildly damaged to allow for somebody to look through. Uh, so, beyond that, you are now continuing your investigation. So, where'd you like to go?
Well, let's see. I think Dal was the innkeep, right? Of the three witnesses we were given names for.
Yep.
Okay. Um, we got some good info on him. Also, if you want to open up the Viderheim Google Doc I made, I have transcribed my notes so far. Um, and I've just started writing down questions we can ask Hugo under Zone of Truth when we're done with other stuff. But for now, we've got Bront and Grimp we could try to talk with.
Grint. His name is Grint.
Grint. I like Grimp.
Yeah,
I guess he could be Grimp if you want him to.
Nah, that's fine. I
Let's just call him Grimp just to piss him off.
Grimpy.
Um,
I should mention Kaido has never met this man and already wants to fuck with him.
such is the way of Kaido.
Yes.
So, I guess we can ask Dal if we're still there, where we could find Bront and Grint.
Did you say Val? I can ask Val.
No, Dal.
Hey Val,
Yes, Kaito?
are we there yet?
Where is there?
I don't know. Graham is asking to ask you if we're there yet.
I wasn't.
I don't believe so.
Val says he doesn't believe so, Graham.
Thank you, Kaido.
Anytime, buddy.
Is this a normal interaction between your associates and yourself, Kaito?
I like to call them friends, more like it. Really good friends, partying venture group. Associate seems just so, except for Aurora, of course, but everybody else, we're doing well. Isn't that right, Aurora?
Aurora is your
Different
associate?
Imagine having a rivalry with a dog.
Yeah, right. Well, we have the same wisdom score, so I figured.
Aurora sneezes.
Disgusting. Stop. Also, out of game. Stop sending me pictures of fucking pugs, Ian.
No. No, I won't.
Cowabunga it is.
Maybe that's why you didn't get that bread maker.
Alright, I'll stop sending you the pictures if you
It
get
was
me
a,
the
it was a
bread
big deciding factor.
There's some real hostage negotiation shit going on there.
Anyway.
I just need one recap from last week. We used Speak with Dead with the body, correct? I remember we asked the 5 questions.
Mhm.
We did. Okay, great.
And we asked, I've got him here. Did anybody other than Hugo hold a grudge against you? No, only Hugo. How did you break your nose? I don't remember. I don't know. Where were you drinking beer? In the public house? Who was there when you were drinking? Half
That's
the
right.
town was there drinking with his friend Doll. What happened the day you died? In a fight with Hugo, who had been drinking, threatened to thump me in the public house, wanted me to go back to my college. I don't remember. Cottage. I don't remember the rest.
Right, and then I harped on the word thump a little bit there. A
Yeah,
couple of
because
people used
he
it,
threatened to bonk
Mhm.
people with his hammer. We got to
but
figure
then
out
he
where that
died
mallet
from his
is.
knife. He threatened multiple times to kill somebody with a hammer, but then he's the suspect that killed him with a knife. I feel like that's a little bit weird. Okay.
Yeah, like, and hang on, let me add these because I already had an existing question field for things to ask Hugo when we get to that. Because we can put him under another zone of truth and ask him some more shit. But I don't know if we want to do that yet. Because we can go look for Bronson Grint, or we could go talk to Hugo again.
Isn't Hugo the one that spat on me?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
still
let's
trying
go.
to solve the murder,
All
make
right.
sure he's not wrongfully accused, even if he's a
That's right.
dick.
That's right.
You
You guys want everybody like
to get
followed
rid of him.
for a period of time, you know.
God, the urge to fucking plant evidence is just growing and
Yeah, he had some crack cocaine on him. What the hell is crack cocaine, Kaido?
Yeah, I don't know. He had it in him, on him. All right, let's kill him. Jesus, Rami. I mean, Kaido. I mean, Rami.
Not gonna lie, Val has occasionally called Kaido Rami. It's too close.
Maybe that was his. Maybe that was his previous owner. Who's Rami? An elvish lord of the past times? No, he was just a.
He was a janitor.
He was a janitor. He was just a retarded guy that kept playing with a sword every single time when he wasn't supposed to.
Is that what your mother told you?
So
My mother calls me a disappointment every day.
Fair enough. So,
Bront, Grint, or go back and question Hugo now.
I think we should do Hugo last.
Okay. So I guess we can ask Dal where we could find Bront and Grint.
Bronton Grimp.
all right.
Okay.
So you were told Bront is one of the fishermen,
Okay.
and Dahl hasn't seen Grint lately. Not since the previous night.
Okay, that's interesting. Let's go see if we can find a trace of that guy. I guess I'll ask him for like a general likeness, what he looks like, where he would be, what he does.
Grint, tall, lengthy fella, sandy hair. He's I don't know what you call him. He does odds and ends.
He's a day tailor.
Yeah, I guess you could call him that. You know, whatever people pay him to do. He's a good guy. He's just, nothing specific he does. Remember, he came here sometime 5, 6 years ago. You don't normally have people coming to here, so it was kind of fun, kind of something new.
And why do you stick around if this place is such a hole? No offense, but everybody we've talked to wants to get off this rock.
Oh, this place is a hole. You can call it that. I don't think he had anywhere else to go, so
I'll do it.
he is here. I got a house here. He's got his friends. It's not all bad here. I mean, no matter what happens, we always get a barrel of beer ready for you.
Oh, that's a nice welcome anywhere. All right,
Great.
thank
They
you for your
speak
time.
your language. That's awesome.
Let's go have a look. And Fiffle, do you want to try to track down our guy here, maybe with help from Fern and Aurora?
Which guy?
This character witness or witness to the murder or the altercation the night of the murder, who has been missing since yesterday or hasn't been seen since yesterday.
Oh, he's dead.
I mean,
yeah,
probably. But we gotta find him.
Yeah, I can try to find him.
I just like the authority he said. He's just dead.
Look,
You're just
I've
foreshadowing.
been a party to enough murder investigations
He's dead.
to know what that means, but we'll find out how he got. How about that?
We gotta find. Graham takes a drink from his flask. All right, why don't we go look for Bront first?
Yeah, he's out on the ice.
All right. Thank you. You have any whiskey
What's
back
the
there?
name of the witness, and where was he last?
Got any whiskey back there? You
All
already
right.
know this is gonna be bad.
I got a bit. It's a little expensive. Run you like
How expensive we talking?
4 silver.
Done. Give me the whole bottle.
Oh, he hands over the bottle, takes 4 silver from you.
Thank you. Graham just tops up his flask with it and puts the remainder in his bag in the bottle. Actually, no. He tops up his flask and then he just chugs the rest of the whiskey.
Well,
Unless
Graham.
that's gonna get him like stupid drunk, not comedic drunk.
I mean, if you're drinking the rest of it, give me a
How
con
how
save.
much is the rest of it? I should say.
You'd like drain half the bottle, putting it into your flask, and then the other
Okay,
half.
so he'll take a good couple pulls, but he'll stop there because he does have to actually solve a murder.
Okay. Give me a con
So-
save. It's not too bad of a DC.
That one, here we go. Okay, that's fine.
Nah, Graham, your liver is like hardened at this
He's
point.
a veteran of this war.
Although you can tell that the whiskey is strong, but it's not very good.
Yeah, that is surplus to requirements.
But it's certainly strong.
Thank you very much. You have a nice day now.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody put that away so quick. At least not my stuff.
Well, tell you what, spend a week with these guys, and maybe you'll understand.
Oh,
Supposed to mean.
it seemed like all right. That one.
Yeah, they
Although-
do, don't they?
Killing's
Yeah,
close.
Graham just has a severe drinking issue and he hides it behind the party's antics, but in reality, he would be drinking nonstop, whether we were doing the right moves or not. But we love him anyway. I put an arm around Graham and I tip the cup a little bit more so he keeps on drinking. Just shh, there you go, buddy. There you go. It's okay.
Akalai fella, I think I've seen you talking to your sword.
And what of it?
Uh,
You just give him a really serious look. I get him an extremely serious look. And
I thought we
So
were
you've
cool.
been- you've
well,
been
you just-
eavesdropping on private conversations, huh?
You've been out in the open talking to it, taking it out of its sheath, kind of whispering to it. It's just
Mm-hmm.
never
Mhm.
seen it before.
Well, the way I look at it is that everybody here is part of a party,
Uh-huh.
and to make sure a party works well, you need to make sure all parts of the party work well, including your tools. So, as Val being a very vital part of this group and a very important tool on my side, I have to make sure that his feelings are accounted for as well.
You named the sword Val?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Okay.
Do you want some whiskey? I'll pour you a cup.
Yeah, sure. Why not? One for the sword as well, I joke with him.
Um, yeah, okay. He pours like
Does
two
he really
shot-
give me 2 cups?
He gives you 2 shots.
I love it. I'm gonna spill one on Val, and then I'm gonna drink the other. Drink up, buddy. I really want this guy to think I'm fucking off the rocker.
Kaido,
at this point.
Clean this
I-
off
I
me.
got good
I
news
don't
for
wish
you.
to get
You won't be
sticky.
the only one.
I'm sorry. What'd you say, Val?
Clean this whiskey off me. I don't wish to grow sticky.
That's what she said.
I knew that was coming.
Kaido,
Nice.
I'm asking
Yes,
you.
yes. Yes, yes.
See-
I'll wipe it off. Val's not a big fan of whiskey. More like hard liquor, right? More like I don't know what they have. Mead.
What's
What do they
harder
have
than
I don't know what they have in magic whiskey. What do they have in D&D world?
I'll be right back.
Well, they'd have quite a bit.
dire cirrhosis?
You've had beer, whiskey, wines, apple ciders that are like hard apple ciders. You've had quite a bit.
I think Val would like high proof oil, sword oil. All right, I'll clean off Val, and I'll drink my whiskey, and I'll hand him back the 2 cups.
All right, Kaido, make a Constitution save.
Oh, is that it? That's no problem. That's how it's gonna be today. Okay.
Okay, so Kaido,
Yes.
you've had that, and it's pretty strong, and
Uh-huh.
you're just feeling a smidge tipsy.
Woo! That's actually very accurate for myself as well.
So yeah,
Wow,
you're
is
not,
this how you feel all the time, Graham? Oh my god.
No,
You're not
this is how I
drunk.
don't feel all the time,
Uh.
Kaido. That's my secret.
God.
Yeah, Kaido. You're not drunk, Kaido. You're just a little you're a little buzzed. You're
Loosened
feeling
up.
very warm too. as the blood flows into your limbs.
I feel good. I feel good. Let's go solve a murder. Let's let's go find Hugo guilty. I mean, let's solve a murder.
I mean, you're probably right,
Honestly, at
but
this point, I really hope so.
all right, let's go check out the fishermen by the ice. They might even be the fellas who pulled us out, pulled me out.
Yep. So you head to the ice.
Assuming nobody else has any chicanery involved.
No, I think I've done my due diligence
I
here.
think I've done enough damage today.
Yeah. I think I'm good here. On to the next one.
All right. So heading from the public house down to the ice where all the fishermen huts have been set up. I mean, you see like about 10 or 11 different huts. Those little like small structures that have been set up with the little fires. You can see some smoke coming from little holes cut in the roof. They all look to be occupied in one way or another. You also do see the hole you fell through, so there's that.
There's that. Graham side eyes it, but says nothing.
The hole we fell through?
Well,
Yeah, because when we were coming over to the island, the ice
Ah,
broke
yes,
and I
yes,
fell in,
yes.
as did
Reggie.
Reggie and almost the prisoner.
She did fall into the water,
Gotcha.
but only up to like her waist because she was sitting on Reggie. Okay. But beyond just the various structures on the ice, you do see a couple of fishermen heading in or out of the structures. Some of them have a lot of fish, some of them only a little bit.
Graham will approach kind of more carefully the ice this time around.
Okay.
And throw a wave.
You actually do see the fisherman who pulled you out of the water.
Howdy.
Yeah, warm up a bit there.
Much better, thank you.
Oh, good to hear. Yeah, the water here falling through is, well, you'll be in trouble pretty quick.
Yeah, reminds me of some of the creeks back home.
Well, hopefully not
Yeah,
that
listen.
Yeah.
We're looking for a fella named Bront. You seen him?
cold. Yeah, let's see. He points to one of the more distant of the huts. Yeah, right up that way. He says the fish are better up that way.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Graham will head up that a ways.
All right. It's a small shack, similar to the other ones. The door is closed. You see some smoke rising from like the hole cut in the roof.
Graham will approach.
As you approach, the door opens up. Fisherman pulls about a dozen or so fish on a line. He just brings them out. Ha! Hello?
Howdy, you happen to be Bront?
That's me. Brought
My name's
himself.
Graham.
Nice to meet you, Graham. Brought himself a bit shorter, dark hair, big bushy beard. He is got a nice heavy coat on, and besides the fish in one hand, he has a small fishing pole in his other hand.
It's hard to trouble you while you're working, but we had some questions about the thing what went down with Hugo.
Yeah, that's some nasty stuff. Well, I'm glad his head's gonna get chopped off.
Yeah. Can we
Me too,
ask
kind
you a
of,
couple
to be
questions about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. What can you tell me about their altercation in the public house before the fight?
Oh, Alt there, he's a friend of mine. We went back years. We travel through this town every once in a while. I'm actually the one who convinced him to get a cottage here.
Oh yeah.
Yep. But that didn't. I guess if I hadn't, he'd probably still be alive today.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Well, anyway, he comes in. I was getting a drink from Doll. I was drinking with him for a bit. I had to leave after a time, but I know Hugo had been in there drinking, getting angrier and angrier. Goes up to Alf, accuses him of stealing from him, threatens to hit him with his hammer, thump him. He's told that basically everybody in town at least once. Says he's gonna knock open his skull. A bunch of people grab Hugo. Alf leaves. About a minute or two later, Hugo leaves. Then I leave after about 20 minutes. I assumed Alf had just gone home.
Hmm.
Eventually, word gets out about like an hour or two later that Alf's dead. So I head back to the public house, and we all go into the back up north there and see that find the body, and find Hugo sitting next to him, kind of sitting on his butt, knife right next to him. We all approach. He's a little dazed, but we see what happened. We think he's probably just got real drunk, blackout drunk, and then probably doesn't even remember killing him. Although he
Yeah, he
admitted
was
to it.
drunk.
He admitted to it, so.
Yeah, what'd he say?
He said he stabbed him in the back.
Hmm.
I'm no wizard, but I've heard that there are many magical incantations that can make a man say all manner of things.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, why would a wizard do that?
Why do wizards do anything?
I could think of like 5 reasons why a wizard could do that, to be honest with you.
Besides, last wizard came here 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was the guy what took an apprentice who left town not long after with him, right?
No, well, he didn't take the apprentice. I mean, he offered, what is it, Ingar. He gave him a letter of recommendation to go to the Starwell. So you take that down to Talva, you show him that, and he would have gotten into the academy, everything squared away there. Well, old Hugo had found that letter, accused Ingar of putting on airs, and ripped it up.
Huh. What a bastard.
So Ingar left a few weeks
That's
after
an
that.
interesting note, though.
Yeah, Ingar left a few weeks after that. I don't think he's been back since.
Okay, so that's actually extraordinarily valuable info. Graham kind of muses that over. What can you tell me about Ingar?
Bright kid. Born on the island, grew up, really smart. Learned how to read and write real quick, like. Always fascinated with stories about magic and mages and the like. So when the wizard travels through, make sure to come up to him and talk to him talk his ear off. But wizard says he's got the talent for it, so he says is wasted in a way being in this town here. So he writes him a letter of recommendation, tells him, head down south, Talva, and you'll get into Starwell, no problem.
And when did he rip up that letter? When was that?
Day or two after. He been going around town talking about how he was gonna get his stuff together. He was gonna get enough food, gonna pack his things up, leave town. Everybody in town was pretty happy for him because let's be honest, most people here are looking for a way out. Hugo though thought he was being in his head he said he was being a fancy pants. He's being he's got a high horse. So he said he grabs the letter recommendation from him, tells him ain't no one better than him, rips it up, and toss it in his face. 3 weeks later, Ingar leaves, and no one seen him since.
Interesting.
Might have gone down to the Starwell, maybe tried to plead his case there, but maybe found a hedge wizard who was willing to teach him, but I couldn't tell you.
All right. It's an interesting wrinkle, that. So you found him up north of the town, yeah? Isn't that away from everything?
Yep. I figured they both head down south towards where their homes are, but don't know what could have brought him up to the north there. Maybe Alf was running away from Hugo and got chased out into the snow.
Maybe. Hmm. Uh, is there anything that goes on up there, even if it's normally someplace you don't go, or is it all just empty?
Oh, I mean, you basically got about 50 feet from the public house to the shoreline. I mean, you'll probably get a couple of houses built there in a year or two, but for the most part, it's not great land. It's sloping a bit. It also tends to get waterlogged if it rains.
Hmm. How often does it rain?
Not too often. Right now, not at all. Come spring, it probably get a decent amount of rain. Probably rain, yeah, mostly in spring and summer. So,
You think I could do a general insight check on this dude? Like, what's his
yeah,
just his demeanor?
yeah, you could do an insight check if you'd like.
Could I attempt one as well?
Yeah,
Uh,
you wouldn't be able to help each other just because,
Yeah.
but Graham, you get the idea. Like this guy seems pretty on the level. Like he's telling you what he knows to the best of his ability. Um, you don't know if necessarily he's remembering correctly 100% because you do see him like stumbling over some words or like trying to gather his thoughts. But
It doesn't seem like he's being intentionally misdirective.
that is correct. Yep.
All right.
Was there
Well,
anybody visiting when this happened? I
Anyone
don't know if
visiting?
you went over that. You know, like anybody out of town.
Oh, well, we don't get too many out of towners. You get a few people here or there. I don't think anyone was visiting from out of town. Yeah, like one out of towner come in like about a month ago, but he would have left like 2 days, like if probably left like a few days after. This has been like 3-4 days before like the murder, so like, he came and went before any of this went down.
Interesting.
Yeah,
What,
so he had a little tent with him and everything.
He had a tent. Did he not stay in the public house?
Oh, he did. But I think the tent was just for because he was on the road a bit. I wouldn't travel in the snow myself like that, but yeah, he ain't me, so.
Did he put up sticks anywhere here, or did he just only stay in town?
Um, no, I think he went just to the public house.
Hmm.
Couldn't tell you his
All
name
right.
though. No, I don't know if I really caught it, but
You remember what the feller looked like?
uh, strange guy. I think he had a beard, bit of gray in hair. Definitely looked like he'd been out on the road a bit because he was kind of dirty. Definitely definitely seen some better days. I'll tell you that.
Out of character, I want to say that's Linus from Stardew Valley.
Interesting. Interesting. Hey, I think I'm out of ideas.
If I can think of anything else, well, it's getting to be night soon, so I'm gonna be getting off the ice.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, anyway, yeah, hopefully, I know you're trying to figure that out, but let's be honest. Nobody, everyone here, we're just waiting for the word to get out that Hugo's head's gonna be on that block. Everyone in town's gonna come and see it. Bastard's gonna get what he finally deserves.
Hmm. Yeah, it sounds like he's not been a good neighbor, has he?
I think half of us expected him to get a knife in the side, but that's more or less what we expected to come to eventually. Him actually getting his head chopped off by order of the yard. Ooh, never expected that, but I gotta tell you, it's probably everything coming back to him finally.
Could be.
Jeez, we got ourselves a real mystery, huh?
No, not really. I'm pretty sure he killed Alf.
So, so no one is thinks it's weird that he used a knife instead of the hammer
Yeah, good
that he
point.
threatens anyone with. Like nobody in town.
Oh yeah, that's a little strange, but I mean, he's sitting next to the corpse. It's his knife.
That's another thing. Where'd that hammer of his go? Do you know?
True.
I think it was on him. I think we found it on
So
him.
probably that feller from the yards got it.
Yeah. look, you go there. Well, let's just say, we all voted to see whether or not he done it, and it was unanimous. He got his trial.
Okay. All right.
Did he say anything there? What was the defense, as it were?
I don't think there was one. They did a. Well, no, we were told that's not supposed to influence our decision, but I heard after the fact that they did a zone of truth on him and he admitted to it.
I see.
Do you think he could have meant he stabbed him in the back in a figurative sense?
It's entirely possible. I didn't get lists of the questions they'd asked him, but I mean, that over the yard fella can just, do it again.
Hmm.
If you want to ask him any questions.
Might do.
If you charm a person, Zone of Truth may be able to fight that. But if you alter their memory, if they really think that's what happened, do you think Zone of Truth wouldn't matter?
Zone of Truth makes you tell the truth as you understand it, I believe. So it could.
Yeah. Fellas, this magic stuff ain't my alley. I know how to fish, and I can get you a lot of it. As for the magic stuff, I'm going to leave that up to wizards, sorcerers, and the rest of them, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to consider all the angles.
I think the
All right,
last
well,
thing I think we just have to go talk to Hugo again.
Let's not keep you. Why don't you get yourself home and warm up?
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, there's a third guy there, the other friend of Alf, Grint. Grint was there last night, or
Yeah,
the night that happened.
You happen to know where he went?
He's got his little place down by the southern end of the town. But I haven't seen him lately.
Grant looks like a guy to talk to.
Yeah, let's go check. Look for Grint.
Okay. He's got. Well, I mean, it's one of the cottages down there by the southern end. A couple of them there. So.
Which one of them is his?
We don't number them. We just kind of know them by who's who. So, knock on doors and ask somebody.
What does he look like?
Tall, gangly fella. Kind of sandy blonde hair. Oh, he's got a cut on his cheek.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a deep one too. He said he got it cause he was moving something and he said a blade cut him that he was moving. He wasn't paying attention.
What does Grinch do?
He
He's
just
a day
does
tailor.
odd jobs here or there. He's a good guy. He's reliable.
You've known him for a while, right?
Yeah, Vern survived about 5 or 6 years ago.
5 or 6 years ago.
Isn't out of character? Isn't that about when the whole wizard came to town thing happened?
Wizard came to town about 10 years ago.
10 years
10.
ago.
What happened 1 year ago? I thought something happened with the wizard 1 year ago. No, it was 10.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we were young back then. Teens, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, I was 17 at the time. Hugo was 18. Inger was 16.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
But
All right.
Evan's, yeah. Oh, a while ago. Got me feeling nostalgic there.
Lots of turning over things, conducting a murder investigation. Well, thank you for your time.
Oh, yeah, no worries. No worries. Oh, I'm gonna get home. Gotta get these, pulls up the fish. He's gotta get these all drying. Yeah, gotta last
clean
me
it
the
and cook
winter.
it for lunch.
Gonna go help me get through the winter, and come spring, summer, I'm gonna be trading these to the riverboats. Well, anyway, go up, fellas. I'm gonna be heading back home now.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Oh, you're welcome. And with that, he kind of puts out the fire in his little hut and closes the door and heads back over the ice to one of the cabins along the edge there.
All right, let's head for the cottages down south and see if we can figure out which one is Grint's.
Okay.
And I will be right back. I'm gonna top up my coffee and use the bathroom.
Roger, Dodger.
I get back like, yeah, we decided that he did it and he got executed.
All right. Heading south. The island's not big. Doesn't take you very long. Takes you just a couple minutes to reach the southern end of the island. You do see a few rows of cottages kind of stacked next to each other. They look more or less the same. They nothing really very fancy about them. They have the thatch roofs. They have just wooden shutters locked up. A couple of them do have some small chimneys, but you don't strictly see anything out of the ordinary. Although, Fiffle, can you do me a favor? Give me a perception check, please.
Man. It wasn't me.
It wasn't ye?
Hold on. Open sesame. This.
Fiffle, you notice on the bottom, like it's sort of near the door, definitely at ankle height, but it is clear script of thieves' can't.
Ah.
You'd recognize the symbol as indicating that safe. Basically, it's a safe house and a information trader is available.
Safe house and information tree.
Mhm.
You know, aren't we looking for information? Coincidentally?
Always looking for information.
Yeah, we are.
Say, guys, I may be able to acquire some information.
Great, let's pursue it.
Using Waze. No. I have to go alone.
Are you going to be okay all alone?
Probably not, but I have to anyway.
Oh no, split the party.
Well, I mean, I feel like if I take you guys to the information broker,
Take one of us,
things
not
might
all
go
of us.
sideways.
Take Otto.
Why would he take an order of the yard to an illegal
Because you could
information gathering
poise is
session?
not an order of the, you know what I mean?
You know, I like you guys. We have the aroma of law enforcement about you.
That's true. I used to carry an ID badge for like a while.
A while.
Yeah, what happened to
like
that,
a
Kaido?
week.
It character growth. I don't need it
aside,
anymore.
I think it was like an in-game week.
The ID badge was inside me all along.
Yeah, and the credentials were just as valid.
Yeah.
Kaito, did you disguise yourself as an officer of the law?
I wouldn't say disguise. I would just say,
Did you pretend to be an officer of the law using an ID badge that you did not earn?
I earned it.
Are you saying this out loud?
Yes. I'm having a conversation with Val right now. I did earn it.
I know. Like Otto's just gonna say, Val, if you're asking them about the ID badge, it was forged.
It wasn't forged. It was made by somebody of great prestige.
All right,
And I'll
Kaito,
just look over at
Forgery is a
Fiffle.
copy. I made that ID badge up out of whole cloth.
Dude, I think that was like
What do you
a 23 roll.
Piffle's correcting me in the open, and
I
Val's
think
like,
it's
"What the
because he
hell am I
forged it.
listening
It
to?"
was a great forge. I mean, it was a great creation.
if I recall correctly, it was very well.
It was well made, but they were completely unrealistic.
Yeah.
It basically gave you like everything from binding power of attorney to like FBI authorization.
I think there was a title of doctor in there somewhere too.
Yeah, Kaito, can you give me a deception check?
Yeah, he's just gonna roll very well anyway. Who cares?
If nothing else, I now believe that the sword actually talks to him.
Kaito, I know that you're lying to me. I cannot judge you for actions you have taken before I have come into your possession, but please, I ask you to act in a more honorable fashion.
You know, you're right. That was old Kaido. This is new Kaido. This is Kaido and Val. It's no longer just Kaido. So you're absolutely right.
He preempted the insight.
Like as he's saying it.
And that's why I don't have that ID badge anymore. It's one of the first steps of
Kaido, can you give me another deception check?
Not because it got confiscated,
I
right?
mean, I'm gonna just say we let it be confiscated when he tried to use it as a negotiating tool.
Kaido, did you purposely give up that ID, or was it perhaps taken from you?
I think the universe sometimes has a way of sending us messages, right? And sometimes opportunities come, and it's whether or not you make something good out of that opportunity. And I lost my ID badge due to circumstances, but at that point I also in unison made the decision to start a new chapter. So both events happened at the same time. Who's to say which one's more true?
Yeah, I set it on fire.
Kaido, I am going to give you the benefit of the doubt in this regard.
Yes. Sweet.
Also, you can't really keep things hidden from me.
No, this is consider us under a zone of truth 24/7.
I
Very
could
well.
do that.
Is
I've thought
Kaido
about doing that.
trying to deceive further, or is he actually telling the truth?
No, he's telling the truth.
All right. Otto?
Otto's gonna snicker when he says that.
Well, Otto, as far as you can tell, yeah, you think he's telling the truth.
And the role might be that old, but Otto's snickering because he knows that's bullshit. I'm gonna walk away snickering.
All right. What? Back on track. Why don't we look for this feller's house? Graham will look around for somebody he could flag down and inquire with.
Graham, I mean, Fiffle told you he found some thieves' cant on one of the cottages.
Oh, okay. I was downstairs for that.
Yeah.
What
So
did
you
the
wants to
thieves'
go
cant say?
solo.
Yep.
It's an information gathering session for Fiffle.
All right. Oh, right. And I must have come in when you were talking about who to take with you. Probably not Graham. Probably not.
Not Otto.
Definitely not Otto because law.
Definitely not Kaido.
I would strongly prefer not Kaido. Strongly. So maybe
I can
Fern?
assist. I can assist just with in-game lore and why not Kaido. It wouldn't be honorable for him to go with a thief or a
I
rogue.
could just not talk, but that's not a good assist.
I rolled
we
to
should.
disbelieve.
Yeah, no, I don't have any good charm abilities in there, to be honest with you, so I should not be in there.
Kaito, perhaps recommend the ranger of your group. She's perceptive and would perhaps not carry the same energy that the rest of you do in terms of your.
What he's saying is Fern
I
is
think-
pure, and the rest of us have been mired in our sins.
Yes. Yeah.
Jokes
I
on
will.
you, Val.
I just give Val to Fern and be like, go with the wind. Yeah, no, I think Fern and Aurora should stay, possibly, or also go. But Fern, you should definitely go.
Okay.
Do you actually give Val to Fern?
How big is Fern? Can she hold?
Probably
Well,
not.
she could hold
Bigger
the
than
sword, but the
No,
sword
no,
is
I
definitely
don't.
taller than she is.
No, that's just gonna bring
She's
more
gonna
attention.
the weight's heavy. She's gonna trip and then she's gonna cut Kaido in half by mistake.
Fern strife.
No, Val's gonna bring too much attention in there.
Yeah, it would basically be like a 4 foot tall rabbit girl with this like probably like 5 to 6 foot long sword.
So
All right,
Piffle and Fern.
I'm gonna be adjusting my sobriety. Good luck, fellers. Just gonna do a little balance tweak on this scenario.
All right.
You think Aurora should come with us? Or is a glowing wolf not a...
I mean, you could be like, why would I lie to
Yeah.
you about why I'm here? Clearly, Like this is the most noticeable thing in the world. You would know.
Yes, we should bring the wolf.
Okay, Aurora is coming too then.
All right.
We're approximately 70% less likely to be murdered if we have the wolf with us.
Okay. Where's the rest of the party? Because right now you're about 10, 15 feet from the actual cottages.
We should lay low until they get back. I don't think we should make any noise. Wow, that's very wise of me, actually, right there. We should knock on doors and and look for what's his name again? Gritter?
Grint.
Grinch. I wrote it down somewhere, but I forgot where I put it. No, we should probably lay low until they get back. What do you guys think?
Yep.
Maybe go back to the to our inn.
We could possibly question somebody, but I feel like we want to do a nice scene for somebody else. I feel like I've been taking up too much friggin' air.
I feel like they might actually find something. So yeah, maybe we should just go lay low at an inn and then wait until they get back.
I'm down.
That's fine.
All right. The rest of the party heads back to the public house, leaving Fiffle and Fern by the cottages here.
Let us go into the cottage.
The cottage of
Okay. Fiffle, you approach the cottage. The door is locked currently.
I give the secret knock.
Okay. You hear the sounds of multiple locks being undone. The door opens up. Standing in the doorway, you see a tall, thin man with sandy blonde hair and a cut along his cheek. Looks like it went rather deep.
That's our guy.
He looks out at first, then he looks down and sees Fiffle and Fern. Can I help you guys?
Maybe. What was it? There were a couple different gangs around. There was the Penny Rats, and then there was those other guys that didn't like the Penny Rats.
Is Fiffle saying this out loud?
No, this is out of character. I also don't remember like what town different things were. Piffle makes the universal sign of I'm a thief.
Okay. You need some detailer work done. Yes, come on in.
Wonderful.
Oh,
Yeah,
just before
detail
you head
work.
in, I just need to know a little, what are you trying to do exactly? And while he's saying this, he mixes in some words. In Thieves' Cant, you would recognize asking, who do you belong to?
Yeah. What was the other?
Was
group
it?
we encountered?
They were Iron Hands affiliated, right? Or Ironmonger affiliated?
There's like a big gang known the Iron
Iron
Masters,
Masters.
who have like a bunch of sub gangs throughout the different cities in Viderheim.
Well, I'm going to cross my fingers and say that I'm looking to have my pants adjusted, but also that I'm affiliated with the Penny Rats.
I can
I think it's me murdered or not.
well, I can certainly find you a tailor. Come on in.
All right. So far, so not murder.
Closes the door.
Locks it.
Locks it. Just for our safety, friend.
I feel very safe.
Mixes in, puts in the Thieves' Cant. I'm with the Penny Rats as well.
Oh, good.
So
So please, work by you.
normally, just and Fern, you don't understand what this guy is saying. He's speaking common, but he's like using a bunch of rhyming words that like make no sense to you. He's speaking them very quickly, and it's completely incoherent to you. Like if you didn't recognize the individual words, you would think he is speaking another language.
Oh wow.
You think he's doing like Naruto gang signs as they're doing the cant?
Fern's just like Fair.
That's why you hear like this. Just him like
Nodding, like,
snapping his hands together really fast, and you're like, "What the fuck's going on?"
It says to you, Fiffle, the rabbit looks confused. She's with you, though?
Oh yeah, she's fine. Fiddle smiles reassuringly at Fern.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
He stops speaking in Thieves' Camp. Walls are thin, but I think maybe we can talk normal, just to be, if we were quiet at least.
Yes, keeping my voice down, I will explain to him about what looks like a straightforward murder, but I've encountered a few things about it that seem suspicious, and trying to find. Well, first of all, we never did find that Grint fellow, did we?
Me, I'm Grint.
Yeah.
Oh, what a coincidence!
All that thieves scan. I'm great.
Is me. I am the Grinch.
Look at the scar.
And Grint was a witness, correct? That we have not talked to yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
And a friend of the tax collector that was murdered.
Yeah, Alfdale.
Yes, we are investigating the murder of apparently your good friend Ulfdale. And we've been told that you were on the scene, actually.
Yeah.
I came expecting to find someone who could perhaps help me find you, but I've walked right into your living room.
Yeah, that's correct. On both fronts.
The murder seemed a little hokey, you know. Guy wanders around with a hammer, threatening people with it all the time, and then kills a man with a knife and forgets all about his hammer. And then just stands around dazed and admitting to the crime. Sounds like magical jiggery pokery to me.
Probably.
Would you be willing to relate what you saw?
Songs is off the record.
It's definitely off the record unless I. Yeah, it's off the record.
He slips into Thieves' Camp. Swear on the penny rats. If you're a liar, let Callista Sorrow cut your throat.
That's pretty serious business.
I'm in it's a serious situation, friend.
I'll go ahead and make the vow. I'll get the information and decide what to do with it, and whether or not my throat will be cut by vengeful spirits or not afterwards.
Oh, she's not a vengeful spirit. She's the woman who runs the penny rats in Vaxfall.
She's the woman that Lucian tried to sleep with.
Oh.
Wait, that's almost every woman.
And I believe she also won the archery competition.
All right.
No.
I mean, we don't have to tell anyone where we get the information from. This guy, right?
I swear on Callista Flockhart cutting my throat.
Well, you got the last name wrong, but
That's what I heard. I don't know.
The name was there. All right. So, what do you want to know?
Who killed that guy?
Evidence points to Hugo.
Yeah, I mean, the evidence points to Hugo.
Mm-hmm.
You and I both know that the evidence is fluid.
That's true. If you're asking if I planted anything or somebody did, nah. As far as I'm aware,
planted. I wonder if anything was planted in poor Hugo's brain, because he admitted so readily to the crime that seems suspicious to me. Who, as someone who tries to deny my crimes and not admit to them, it just seems wrong to me.
I'll admit, when I worked out of Vaxfall on the bit of things there, I worked with some fellas who would help me out and who had access to a little bit of the old magic, finger wiggling there. Yeah, so could be done. And if it was, then sitting under a zone of truth would well, you modify the memory, and that's what you think is truth. So it wouldn't be a lie that would break it. It wouldn't be true, but
But it wouldn't be a lie either, of course.
it would get by it, is all. We'd
Hmm.
actually thought about doing something like that to get through any investigations, but one, you need a wizard who could do it. Two, modifying memories is a little suspect. Maybe Iron Masters would do it, but not us.
Hmm. But you were on the scene. Did you see? I keep forgetting the names. Did you see him kill him?
No,
Hugo, kill the demon.
Hugo kill Ulf
no.
did.
What
Ulf did.
happened is what I saw.
Yeah.
I'm at the bar, talking with Doll, talking with Brock. Off comes in, has a couple drinks. Pretty normal evening. Hugo's in the back. He's in his cups. He's been drinking all night. He's been working him up about something. This is the kind of guy who, makes up imaginary scenarios in his head and then gets mad about them and then takes that on into you.
Mm-hmm.
He accuses Ulf. He's been accusing Ulf for the past couple weeks, saying, the money he collected from him wasn't fair, that he's been taking more than what he actually owes, and that he is going to, thump him, as he's told everyone in town, me included. He gets angry, gets up. I'm one of the people who holds Hugo back. Ulf leaves. Hugo struggles away out of us. Leaves about a minute, 5 minutes later. I don't really remember exactly, but wasn't too long. He leaves. I go to the door. I take a look, make sure nothing's going to happen. I don't see Ulf around. I figure Hugo is going to go home, so we shut the door. A couple hours later, we hadn't heard hide or hair of the two of them. Somebody goes out, finds the corpse, finds Ulf, finds Hugo, sitting next to the body. I get Brent. We go back. Clear cut to me. So we arrest them, send out word down or up to Kirog. They dispatch a judge. They dispatch the Order of the Yard fella, and they dispatch a cleric.
Yeah.
Well, they do their
Seems like
investigation.
the evidence certainly points to Hugo. It seems like it's either an ironclad case against Hugo, or we've got a memory manipulating wizard in the mix here.
Maybe.
And there just can't be that many people who would be capable of such a skill.
Well,
Do you know if there's a wizard in these here parts that would perhaps a wizard who chafes at paying taxes, some sort of libertarian wizard?
Well, I tell you, anybody who can modify memories ain't coming here to piss off a tax man. And besides, if you were, why not just modify his memory, say you already paid your taxes?
That's a good point.
That's a really good point, actually.
It seems like Hugo did it, guys.
Look, and maybe, I'm going to tell you right now, if I was Hugo, and I stuck somebody in the back, I ain't sticking around. So I don't know why he was sitting there. Maybe he was blackout drunk and don't remember it. But if he don't remember it, then why did he admit to it? So he obviously remembers it. Why did he use his knife? I gotta tell you, Hugo's a little bit of a... Well, he's a prick. He's a big prick. But there's one thing I know about the guy. And it's he kept his dad's lessons to heart. And he doesn't fuck around with his boating tools. All his boating tools go right back. And anybody who touches them, he threatens to hit him with a hammer. And
The hammer being one of the boating tools?
It's a wooden mallet he found one day. Don't ask me where. It was the worst day of them all. I got half a
The
mind.
town asshole became mallet guy.
Let me tell you, I had half a mind to just go in and take the head off of it one day while he was out. But that's not a problem no more, because the whole town's about to watch him get his head taken off. I gotta say,
Do you think that's really Hugo? You think they replaced him?
well, if it ain't Hugo, then the guy in that cage is still getting his head chopped off. So, you know,
Have
justice
we
served.
talked to Hugo out of character?
Briefly.
Yeah, briefly. He spat in my face, that motherfucker.
All right.
But you might be
Mr.
onto
Grint,
something.
I shall speak no word of anything you've told me, although I may use it to guide my further investigations. But I never spoke to you. I may be back to not speak to you further.
No, just say that, like, I offered you. You came here looking for a detailer. You didn't like my prices. It happens.
Oh yeah, no, I mean explaining my presence here as a practiced prevaricator, I'm not really concerned about. But yes, I may return if further questions arise. Thank you for your time, Mr. Grint.
You're quite welcome.
You're fine tailoring and alterations.
You know what a detailer is, right?
No.
I move things around. A porter, a stevedore.
He picks things up and he puts them down.
I don't just tailor people's clothes during the day. Understand that? I've never, well, I've used a needle, but not for the purpose of fixing or altering clothing.
Okay, then I will be sure not to say that you altered any of my clothing, and that instead you picked it up and put it down several times.
He slips in
you
the
should
thieves'
think
camp.
about your cover, because
yes.
Taylor would be a better one.
How attached to your identity are you?
He slips in the thieves' camp. This town here, they don't really have, like, most people just do their own tailoring here, see? I'm just the penny rat contact from between Talva and Kirog.
Gotcha. Well, stevedore on, Grint.
He slips back into common. Same to you, I suppose. Shame we couldn't do business, but maybe if you come, my prices seem more fair, come back and we can discuss further.
Of course.
And to you, he looks to Fern. Rabbit girl? I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch your name, or the name of your rather fancy-looking dog.
I am Fern.
It's nice to meet you. And the fancy
Nice
dog?
to meet you too. Oh, Aurora.
Does she do any tricks?
What kind of trick would you like her to do?
I once saw her eat half a man, Piffle.
You did?
Oh no.
Well,
like that.
Soul.
I was gonna see if she could roll over, but maybe I'll leave her be.
She rolls over. I don't tell her to do anything. She just does it.
Well, smart dog. Well, now do you paint
Yes.
her like that, or?
No, that's all natural.
Ah. Well,
Very fancy.
very fancy, especially on this island. It's probably the kind of thing that it that's gonna get people talking. We'll be talking about this in the next 10 years.
When the fancy wolf came to town.
Oh, it's a wolf.
William Fancy Wolf.
Yeah, just a little. Thought they'd be a bit bigger, is all. No, she's a good size. She's a good size wolf. Still growing, right?
No.
Oh, well, still very exciting to see. Well, anyway, I hope you two. I'm gonna probably head to the public house soon, and have a couple drinks, but
Wonderful.
Cool.
Well, I guess we'll move on and rejoin the group. I'll tell them that they should stop trying to find Grint, and that
unless you want some information, of course, in which case come and find me. I know all sorts of things.
Well, look.
But not about this situation with Alf.
Exactly.
People aren't paying me for that one, so.
Right. So moving on, we will tell the group that Grint is a dead end, and that yeah, let's rejoin the group. And so my take, Piffle's take on this is that it's either an ironclad case against Hugo,
Yeah.
or this is a really like the scenarios where it's not Hugo either imply a much greater conspiracy at work here or don't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, if you're relaying all the information that you just went through, the one thing that seemed a little off was the possibility that Hugo might not be Hugo. Maybe we need to do
Yeah,
like
that's Piffle's only theory is that maybe
we're gonna
Hugo
have to
took place.
cross-examine Hugo under another zone of truth. I think.
It's a good idea.
I think we're gonna need more than a zone of truth. It seems like whatever was done to him is dodging zone of truth.
Double truth zone.
To an
We need-
extent, but we can ask questions that, like, how do you know you killed him? If, like, why did you confess if you don't remember anything?
Yeah.
But if they did change memory, they just probably dropped a memory in there, and that's what he's remembering. No?
No, because he's still claiming he doesn't remember anything.
Oh, I thought he admitted to it.
He had
That's
admitted
what,
to he had admitted to the murder under zone of truth. You Sir Thrum had told you that earlier.
He
Okay.
admitted. Yeah. Do we not have like a dispel magic? Does
I
anyone have
tried
it?
that.
Oh, you did. You
Yeah,
did
we
do
did that
right?
last session.
Oh,
Unless I didn't. No, I think I dispel magic at him, didn't I? What did I do it on? I know I did it.
You had attempted it. But I don't remember. I don't believe it was on him himself. Or you may have done it on him. I don't remember, but it didn't have a specific effect.
got it. Okay.
I can cast it 2 more times today, but that also is my 3rd level spell slots. I guess I could also cast it at 4th level. That's my 1 4th level slot.
No, I mean if you've done it once and it didn't do anything, I figure maybe that would have taken any illusions off. I think I did detect magic around him too, actually. By the time we went upstairs, I wanted to look at him with detect magic, and I didn't see anything really on him. I don't know. Maybe this is an ironclad case against Hugo.
There's still the matter of the blood on the knife suggesting the the murder was done long before. There was the blood pattern on him.
Blood on the knife was old, you say?
Yes, the blood was already long dried. The timings don't line up. And we also found that the blood was suggested, I believe, that he'd been moved. I wrote it down.
Ian, you made this mystery too good.
you're closing in.
I do. There is something I think Ed and I were on the same page about, which the whole thing with the would-be wizard apprentice leaving town, like that. We've got somebody who's got a very specific, unique grudge, and the possibility of magic fuckery.
What was that?
Who left town? That was a wizard apprentice?
The guy that had the
So
letter ripped up in his
there was a real
face.
smart kid who met a traveling wizard who basically told him, like, you could come to Hogwarts. Here's your letter of recommendation to the Starwell in Talva. Hugo ripped up his thing because he said the guy was putting on airs and he wasn't better than him. Then he left town a couple weeks after that. Hasn't been seen since, but that's good motive right there.
Grudges are forever.
I do believe you may have cracked the case there. You found our cranky wizard. Just got to track that kid down.
It's a thought.
That's who we got a zone of truth. He had a grudge against Hugo, so we framed him for a murder.
Or like magically made him do it.
Or that.
But
I
So how do we go finding this kid?
First, I think it's worth questioning Hugo again with everything we've learned. Like, even if he answers in a way, like, you can ask questions where you still get information if he responds with something that wouldn't help otherwise, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
And assuming, again, that the whole thing inside was relayed or some of it, we know that Hugo, one of the very few things he cleaved to is not fucking around with his boating tools. And his boating tool has been thoroughly fucked around with.
All right. So do we find this kid, or do we go talk to Hugo and Zone of Truth him to?
Well, I don't think you're finding the kid because what if he made it as a real wizard? What are you gonna do? Just knock on every pocket dimension?
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, angsty teenager, we need to talk to you.
I'm just updating the question list to try to find more specific things.
Okay. So it's getting a little bit later in the day. Sun is beginning to set.
And like narrow down what he knows / actually remembers and the timelines of things. And then we got to chase this kid down.
Yeah. Okay. Hugo then kid.
Sneaky magics.
All right, so here's a list of questions I've got that we can ask. When is the last time you used your tool knife? And what did you do with it last? Where's your mallet? Did you drink anything else than what you had at the bar? Did you move the body? What are your memories before the murder? How many times did you stab him? Describe the murder. What did you kill him with? What were you doing to the north of the public house?
Those are good.
Those are really good.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can go back. Honestly, if I didn't directly cast a dispel magic on Hugo, I'm gonna go up and see if I can try it now.
Okay. Actually, Graham, give me an Arcana.
All right, Arcana. I am not specifically a wizard.
Can I assist him in this? No.
I'm literally not a wizard at it.
This would just be you being told that maybe there was a modify memory spell used. Dispel magic wouldn't affect it in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. So,
Or specifically, it could, but only if cast within a minute of it being cast.
okay.
But there's something in the back of your head about like modify memory. It's not really a thing that you deal with too often. You'd have to look into it further if you wanted to like get a better idea of it.
All right.
Would it leave magic residue at all after so long?
You don't believe so after a minute's time.
Okay. Graham will kind of throwing stuff at the wall to see if anybody associates things together, like group thinking it.
Well, how do you
relate
identify
to our guy with the Order of the Yard, the executioner?
How do you identify a memory modification then if it leaves no residue?
Well, you could investigate further into it.
Could, yeah.
Are we just trying to look at like arcane ways of how this might have been done? Is that what you're saying? You're trying to group check
Figure out the modified memory spell and the particulars of it.
I mean, I'll do an Arcana check if that's.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was system.
Okay.
I don't think he needs it, but
Nice.
One more time, just in case I get a 20.
All right. So Kaido, you know, like you've dealt with like spells, especially modify memory. Like you can't cast them, but at least not.
But
yet.
yeah, I'm in the wizard tree of Magic Initiate. Yeah, so I understand.
You would have learned enough about it to know that modify memory spell would implant a false memory into someone's mind. They would believe it to be true as long as it's not contradictory. Takes a full minute to apply it. Like you have to cast the spell on the person, put the memory in there, and then it takes a minute of time for it to, like, in essence, fully implant. At which point, it couldn't be unlodged with the exception of a greater restoration spell or a remove curse.
Holy shit. Modify memory is pretty strong.
If we if we can get one more night, I could prepare. I believe I could prepare Dispel Curse, because that was one of the things I realized way too late to help Fiffle. Is I think I could just Dispel Curse.
So tomorrow you'd be able to do that?
Yeah, I could prep the spell, and it is a 3rd level spell. Yeah.
I think that's our best chance then.
We might as well, while we're here, Zone of Truth and question him again just to see what lines up, because we're gonna do it anyway.
Okay.
So Graham is relaying all this to our the guy from the Order of the Yard, so he's in the loop.
Okay. Were you discussing this with him directly in front? Because he's standing next to both Hugo as well as Sathara.
I guess we can pull him aside. Yeah.
Okay. So you, in essence, go up to him, pull him aside, and let him know.
Basically, yeah.
All right.
There may be a modify memory spell in play here.
He thinks for a moment. It's possible. Would definitely count for some of the issues that I had noticed. Problem is, it would require a rather powerful wizard or to cast a spell like that. And I, as far as I'm aware, am unfamiliar with any wizard who would want to do this to.
Well, it's
Hugo.
funny you mention that, because I might have one for you.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we may have one for you.
Graham will relay the tale of the smart kid who got the invite to the Starwell torn up by Hugo when they were young adults.
It's certainly good motivation. I could especially see somebody holding on to that for a while. Of course, it sounds like the gentleman in question has actually learned some magic. The other
it was
thing
a long
is,
time ago, and the guy was whip smart.
well, he kind of. I mean, you go to the
He found-
Starwell, you're basically not only getting the connections to be able to serve in any real high-level capacity, so it could have easily cost him a job. The prestige from it. The other issue, though, is, as far as I'm aware, no one's mentioned him coming back into town.
Well, if he's capable of casting a modify memory, he could be capable of all kinds of magic.
It's possible. Invisibility, alternatively just modifying the memory of anybody who's recognized him. But
And we also found they had their showdown up north, yeah, and there's nothing up there. It seems like the kind of thing that a local would know to do to not be noticed. Somebody who'd lived here and knew.
that's true. Of course, until we can actually find this wizard, Hugo has been condemned to death. It was already agreed upon. The jury has spoken. But if you're able to find this wizard, then I could, in my capacity as a member of the Order of the Yard, declare him innocent and then proceed to have a trial for the actual murderer. If he is the actual murderer, of course.
Well, can you give us another night so I can see if there's been memory tampering and dispel it?
I will have to appeal to the crowd. I am right at the end of my actual limit to the execution.
My out of character is, I'd rather just let the wizard be free and just execute this clown. but you know,
by virtue,
that's what he deserves.
He's a dick.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dick.
This is like a culmination of all his dickery. Just he's gonna get executed for it instead.
If you are thinking it's a modify memory spell, I'm assuming you want another night to further investigate. If you'd like, I can also cast a Zone of Truth on the condemned, as so that you can get both his testimony with the modify memory spell upon him, and if you're able to dispel it in some manner, then you could get the testimony without it. And
that
see how
sounds
they
like
compare.
a good idea, because that would give us a literal comparative basis. We could straight up. All right, I have an idea. We might be able to go full Phoenix Wright here.
Oh boy.
We can get his testimony now. We can do it again in the morning, and we can do that like during the quote unquote trial. It's not court admissible, but we could use it as just a comparative basis of the exact same questions with two different sets of answers.
Yeah, and if it's the same thing
And
every time,
he's telling us we got to find the wizard. So if we find the wizard, we have a true Phoenix Wright scenario.
I feel like I'm gonna be pushing Kaido up to the front so he can see his first public execution.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Here you go, son.
You got like a cellophane sheet.
Sir
Can we
Thrum,
also get popcorn, Dad? Can we?
Sir Thrum
Get this
also
man some popcorn.
interjects. If this wizard you speak of does have a motive, then I imagine where a smart murderer would simply leave. It's entirely possible he's staying to observe the execution.
Worth the look.
But anyway,
Uh,
let me know when
we
you're ready. That being said, once dusk sets in, I will be bringing both Hugo as well as your prisoner back into the public house. The temperatures are going to drop rather significantly. And from there, I will be, well, retiring to bed for the evening.
All right, so I guess we have our time limit.
So if you'd like me, I can cast the Zone of Truth now. It will last 15 minutes.
Yeah. Does anybody have any other questions they want to add to the ones I already wrote down?
No, I think you
No.
have
think
it
that's
pretty
good.
on point.
All right.
Maybe ask him if he remembers the wizard. I can't remember his name. Add that to it.
Ingar? Is that
Yeah,
his name?
ask him if he
Oh.
remembers Ingar.
When's the last time you saw Ingar?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Sir Thrum heads back. He's been keeping both cages within eyesight, but out of actual like hearing range. So he takes his position in between the two cages.
Yeah.
Well, if you let me, if you'd like, I can cast the Zone of Truth now.
If you can do another one for us later, then absolutely.
Of course. You see him cast the spell. You see Hugo just kind of like just shake his head and mutter under his breath. But Sir Thrum just says, "The spell is cast. It is upon him. He has not been able to resist its effects. I will tell if he is lying or not, and I will relay this to you. Please go ahead and ask your questions."
All right. When is the last time you used your tool knife, and what did you do with it last? And Graham is going to write down the questions and answers.
Oh, you're working with a fucking half-breed Tusker, which you would recognize as some rather impolite
Colorful
language. I don't know how to tell you fucking anything. Why the fuck would I tell you anything? They're chopping me head off.
Well, I just figured. I've heard you. If there's only one thing you believed in, it was what your father told you. So, if you abused your boating tools, then I guess you had nothing going for you, did you?
I wouldn't fucking take my tools out. I leave them in the shed, or at least I normally do.
I just pictured Graham just taking a swig of whiskey as he's like started talking.
They could say what they want about me in this town, but I take care of the boats and my tools. But I must have forgotten.
Okay. So, where's your mallet then? You keep threatening to thump people. I think you would have jumped at the chance.
The fucking Tuskies got it. Sir Thrum ignores the insult, but he does reach into a bag and pull out the mallet.
So,
it would be great if he just
why
malleted
didn't you
him
use
right
it?
there.
Please continue. He's telling the truth so far.
So, Graham turns back to him and asks him, "So, why didn't you use it?"
I don't know. I had the knife with me. I thought, oh, you know what? I'll stick him good. Better than bopping him, I guess. I don't know why. I had a few drinks. If you got a knife or you got a mallet, why would you choose one or the other?
And He said when I asked him the last question, what did he do with it last? The last time he saw it was in the shed.
Nah, well, I mean, last time I saw it, it was stuck into the kid.
Okay,
If that's what
so
you're curious about.
that's part of it.
The little fuck got what he deserved. Stole from me. I stuck him in the back, and he's dead. My only problem is I didn't get away.
Hmm. So did you move the body?
Nah, struck him from behind, and he hit the ground.
Then what's up with the blood around his shirt?
I don't know. What am I, a fucking doctor? You think I know how blood works?
Do you think I know how blood works?
He got
Uh,
stuck and bled like a pig.
do you drink anything else than what you had at the bar?
Nah, I had my fucking drinks. Same as I always do. Every night, I got me drinks. I paid up my tab so the bartender was gonna give me it, and that's what I did. And he's lucky too, because I could have strung him out for a bit longer if I wanted.
So what do you remember right before the murder?
I got in a fight with him because everyone is palling up to him, and I know he has stolen my money, overcharged me. I tell him I'm gonna hit him with my hammer. He leaves. The little bastards hold me back. I break free, follow him after. I followed him north because he ran up to the north, and then I stuck him in the back while he was running away from me.
And you had your boating knife on you?
I must have, because it's in his back. It was next to me. It's mine.
Guy really is his own worst enemy, isn't he? Okay. Oh God, it's hard to transcribe this. I'm gonna hand wave it. Fuck it. Except for the liner notes. How many times do you stab him?
Once.
Okay.
And Thrum speaks up. Graham, I should inform you, he was resistant to tell the truth, but we were able to get out of him. I told him that he would be unable to speak a falsehood while he's under a zone of truth without me being aware. Eventually, he gave in and just told me and just started telling the truth.
Okay.
And I must say, the man enjoys talking.
Well, he might as well enjoy something if he is getting his head lopped off tomorrow.
Well, we might as well, yes. That's the first time you've actually seen Sir Thrum give it like anything close to a smile.
Everybody hates this guy. Okay, so he didn't drink anything else, didn't move the body. What do you remember before the murder? Blah blah blah. How many times did you stab him once? Um,
I had a shuddering thought that even if we get the magic off of him and everything, he might be innocent, but he's still a dick.
yeah. Oh no,
Yeah.
that trial was resolved a
Oh,
long time ago.
shit.
The execution isn't for the murder; it's for his everything he's done his whole life.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
immediately put him on another trial for miscellaneous dickbaggery and find him guilty and execute him.
This Val is what we call a gray area.
Sorry, local code. What can you do?
He said the only thing that didn't go right was he didn't get away. So, like, why didn't he get away?
Yeah. Why didn't you get away?
I don't fucking know. I probably passed out or something and woke up when they came and found me. Bad luck if I say. Or maybe that little bastard's got some good luck. Well, with one knife-shaped exception.
Okay. So he described the murder as coming up from behind, stabbing him once, and he fell forwards, right? Or did he say fell on his back?
No, he fell. Yeah, he fell forward. He thinks for a moment.
Is that worth insight checking, or is that just making sure that it lined up?
Sir Thrum just says he's telling the truth.
Okay. Was his nose broken before you stabbed him?
No, why would it be? No, it was obviously he fell, hit the ice, and broke his nose.
Okay. There was something amiss about that as well.
You got
Okay,
a lot
we
of
already
little
answered what
fucking
you kill him
questions
with.
there, creep. I could see it with your fucking red nose, you little alcoholic drunk, you little lush.
Isn't that the pot on the kettle black?
Look at you. You talk to the dead, I can tell you're a little bastard, a little creep. Creeping around graveyard and talking to spirits. I gotta tell you, it's a wonder they hadn't strung you up yet.
Yeah, I'll try to live with my shame. So, when's the last time you saw Ingar?
The fuck does Ingar
Unbothered.
have to do it? I saw that little fuck 10 years ago. He got walking around the town waving his little letter saying how he's leaving this place, gonna go to the fucking Starwell. Little shit. I grab it from his hands, rip it up, and I tell him, you ain't going nowhere, because no one leaves this fucking island.
But he did.
Yeah, and you know where he went to? He got into the woods to get eaten by wolves. Where the fuck is he gonna go? Huh? He ain't going down to Talva to find his fortune working at the Starwell. He ain't going up to fucking Voxfall to become some fucking fancy court mage.
What,
He
because you
left.
couldn't do it, he couldn't do it?
He turns red at that. Fuck you.
Maybe later. Gonna need a couple more drinks than me for that, Hugo.
You little fucking think you know me, you little shit.
Yeah, Hugo's a real prize, huh?
Oh, yeah.
When you think about it, Graham can have a conversation with him after his head is lopped off too.
Just to annoy him
I
back.
just said that out loud. It's like you can talk to him about that after he's dead.
All right. So I guess I don't need to ask what were you doing to the north of the public house, or to describe the murder, because he did that in his other questions. Yeah.
The little inbred hick talks so much. Thrum, cut my head off now. I know you half-breeds are ready to do it.
I'm putting you in for a bonus when all this is said and done.
I appreciate that, Mr. Graham. Unfortunately, accepting payment for doing my duty, especially extra payment, would be unbecoming of a member of the Order of the Yard.
Fair enough. Well, I'll buy you around if nothing else. Okay, where were we? So we got his testimony about before the murder. I think that's everything.
Yeah, so you're gonna do, I think, remove curse, re-ask the questions, see if anything changes,
Yeah, tomorrow.
and
Unfortunately,
then his head comes off. Then you do speak with dead again, and then we mock him as a spirit.
To be fair, it's not actually their spirit. It's just kind of an effigy of what they knew.
Yeah, it's like an echo.
Like it can't extrapolate or anything. It's
And
like
maybe
like an AI or like
I
a
will
limited
bet
AI.
money that effigy is also a fucking dick.
Just transcends the grave.
Really, truly.
All right. Then I guess we got to see if we can find any sign of this wizard.
You know, I really don't want to find a wizard.
Guys, I just had an awesome thought. Maybe it's Lucian. Maybe he's coming back.
Now he comes back into the campaign.
Right?
Oh,
Hey,
it's
guys,
you guys.
what's up? Oh my god.
As amusing as that would be, Lucy does not know modify memory.
Thank God for that.
Yet is the fucking word for there.
You know what?
Yet.
When you upload this, you need to put Morrow. Do not watch this video.
Just edit this part out.
That's
Hi,
it.
YouTube Morrow.
It would just be like, as interesting as that is, Lucian doesn't know redacted spell.
Yeah, you can't watch this whole adventure because the murder plot
The
hinges on
lost,
something we
the
don't want you
lost
to know about.
files. Makes it into a lost files folder. We'll show it to him like 10 years from now.
The lost levels. All right. So
All right, so we have to wait till tomorrow to
do that.
help
So in the
this
meantime, we
fucking
can
dick
try
out.
to
God damn it.
we can try to track down Ingar if he's disguised himself or he's hiding in or around town. The only place we could look, I think, is the up north where the altercation happened, but I think we already did that. Is that right, Ian?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I guess we need to.
Well, technically, you only checked out the murder site. You didn't actually like look for like somebody
Okay, so
hiding out.
let's head back up into the north area and scout around for clues, Morrowind style.
Okay. It's dark now, so it's gonna be a little more difficult to look for clues. You also see Sir Thrum end the Zone of Truth, and then he basically grabs both Hugo's cage in one hand and Sathra's cage in the other hand and just lifts them up and just like carrying a cat carrier, one in each hand, just brings them inside the public house.
Well, good times. Um, Scooby Doo time? Question mark.
All right. So you head up to the north, back to the murder site.
Unless anybody has any strenuous objections.
Nah.
No, no objections.
Okay. The murder
I
site
am-
itself is like 30, 40 feet from the public house. The island from the murder site stretches about another 20 to 30 feet until it reaches the actual edge of the like where the river starts, the riverbank. So yeah, you got about like 70 or so feet.
Okay. Can we get Graham will use his head candle and the glowing sword,
Well, I have the night. I have the good vision with
the
my.
goggles of night, and we've got maybe Fern doing like tracking or looking
Yeah.
survival stuff.
I also have devil's sight, so I can see at night pretty good.
Nice.
All right. So Fern, you can do a survival if you'd like. Otto can also do a survival, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to help each other with just the way that it like devil sight versus the goggles.
Mine's in case this matters. This also works against magic, darkness.
Okay.
Where's survival?
All right. And can Fern give me a survival check as well, please?
I
Good.
did.
Above me.
Oh,
And
oh
it
I'm
was
sorry, I didn't see that at
Not
first.
good.
Fern, you're having a little bit of trouble looking for it, but Otto is actually able to find, like, looking around further north, near where the bank of the river is. He finds an area that looks like a campsite had been set up. A lot of the snow has been packed down. Looks like the remnants of a small fire had been set there. Um, Nothing is currently in this area.
Interesting. Huh?
Just the remnants of a campsite that
I'll call the
had
group over.
been there at one point recently.
Based off of this and that roll, can I tell how long ago this campfire was?
You'd have to make another
created?
roll, but
Oh, I'll wait till Fern gets here and I'll let her like take a look see.
okay.
Survivals.
And I guess we help her.
Okay, yeah, Fern, go ahead. You can make a survival roll at advantage. You would suspect somebody had been here for at least a week. Probably they packed up somewhat recently. At least before the last snow, which had only been a couple nights before.
How
Ah,
does this line up with the whole timeline from the murder?
The murder had occurred about 2 weeks ago.
Hmm.
Not quite. It'd be close to about 12 days. Whence the murder took place. This campsite had been set up, and somebody had been there for at least a week, probably longer. You suspect that the campsite was here when the murder took place. Or
Is
at least had
there
been within that time frame.
is there any sign of either tracks to and from the site? Any sign of like storage or like?
The tracks look like they're heading into town.
Okay.
Can we?
Is there anything here that we could use to track someone from here?
It looks like the campsite that had been set up had been packed up relatively within like a day or two, probably close to the time you arrived. Honestly, um, there's no there's nothing remaining here, with the exception of a small circle of stones where a fire had been put that had been somewhat hastily kicked apart.
Interesting.
But no, you don't see any like tent. I mean, you see like a spot where like tent posts have been hammered into the ground. You don't see any storage, but you do see uh, some snow that had been packed down. Looks like something heavy had rested on it for a little while. You see, yeah, like tracks, but the tracks are heading back into town. So, really, it looks like there's no one currently here and hasn't been here for at least a day or so.
Okay. I guess we can try to follow those tracks back into town.
Okay.
We got an idea of the boot print we saw in, I think, Hugo's shack. Did the tracks look like that? If there's any clear ones?
Yep, they do. They match
All right.
both the boot print you found in the shack as well as the boot print, or one of the boot prints that you found around the crime scene itself that had been frozen in ice.
Okay, so I believe we also got information that there's only one person who sells shoes to this place and always has been. So he would probably have similar like those shoes if he still had them. So that could be valuable data.
Entirely possible.
Could be meaningless. Let's Scooby Dooby that shit. Graham will take not an etching, but he'll like do a comparison and note that it's the same. He'll draw it as best he's able.
Okay.
I don't think you could etch a snow print.
Maybe if it was ice, but
Yeah. Anyway. Back towards town following the tracks, I guess, though I'm guessing they won't bring us right to them.
Following the tracks is pretty simple now that you are aware of them. Following them into town, once it reaches the center of town, they get lost in just the mud and the muck. You could attempt to track them further, but it would be very difficult to do so.
I'm going to leave that up to Fern as the tracker to beat, as it were.
Okay.
Yeah, I can try to track them.
Okay, give me another survival roll, please. This one's just a regular one.
A D4. Or...
Okay.
Nice.
And you can add the D4. Yeah, unfortunately, you're able to follow them a little bit further into town, but at a point, just foot traffic has obliterated them, and you're not able to find them further. They are heading away from the public house, however.
That's interesting. In what direction are they heading?
Down south.
Okay. So down south, but not towards. So that's where the rows of housing work, right?
One of rows of housing. There's rows of housing all around this small town.
Okay.
This town's basically all just housing, and most of this is like a cottage industry where people just do what they need to do out of their own house.
Gotcha.
Should we head south and see if we can pick up the tracks again?
It's worth a try.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it is worth a try. We should try that.
Let's do that then.
All right. Fern, give me another survival roll.
A D4.
Okay. And you can add that D4.
Nice.
Good, but unfortunately, it's just not only is it dark, but it's just very difficult to like find one track of a workman's boot among many, and it just gets lost in the actual, like all the people, and not just like people walking to from back and forth, heading out in the morning, heading back in the day, and doing this over the course of a couple of days. So, unfortunately, while like very good showing, the tracks just get lost in all this like traffic here.
Gotcha.
But you know that he is still in town, at least, just from the age of the tracks themselves. Unless he's skipped town within the past hour or two.
All right. Do we have any other sources of detect magic right now where we could like literally just look around the town and see if any of the houses are glowing?
Well, you can.
I have some amount of charges. So, let's see.
To do what you said? Did you say to?
If any of the houses are glowing in town.
Yeah, like see if there's any signs of magic again. Find where this wizard might have gone.
I did it open
I
minimized.
don't have a detect magic anymore, unfortunately. I could do a Arcana perception.
I have 4 detect magics.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Do we want to try that?
Okay.
So if you want to do that, I can do that.
Yeah.
All right. Otto, you cast detect magic. You scan around, but you don't see any magic currently.
What general direction did it look like those boots were going? I guess we could. And also, how many houses?
They had gone down south. You're probably about midway into the town. Town stretches about another couple 100 feet down from where you are, further south. So
10 minutes, so that's actually a lot.
Yeah. Why don't you keep it up while we walk through
Yeah,
the area? Basically, just walk around the place.
yeah,
all right.
we can do that.
Walking through town, you don't see anything that would ping your detect magic. Um, it's possible any magic that was cast was just has occurred already. It would not leave a residue in the same way that the detect or the modify memory spell would.
You know where we can check actually? Hugo's. We could check the murder victims again, and we could check Hugo's again.
Okay.
Because those are both houses we know would be unoccupied, and the killer would know would be unoccupied.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we did detect magic there. You're right. Agreed. We'll go to Hugo's.
Okay.
It's a party at
It
Hugo's.
was like a fucking fancy restaurant.
Because he's wanted for murder.
All right. You head to Hugo's.
Hugo, yes.
Might as well.
Okay. The house and the shack are as you left them. You don't really see anything strange about them from the outset.
Okay, let's check them and see if there's anybody in them.
Okay. Um, Heading in, I assume any locks you would be able to easily open. The house, or actually, do you start with the house or the shed first?
Probably the house.
Okay. The house is much as you left it. Your initial overview, while it's dark, looks to be as you had left it previously.
Do a quick look in the upstairs area in that alcove that was looking down on the bed.
Okay. Do an investigation or a perception.
I will do an investigation.
I'll help
I
him out.
will assist.
Okay.
Do you want to pop another detect magic auto? Or is
I mean,
it
I'm
still
just
up?
going to use them as we need.
Okay.
I have 3 more.
The house itself, looking around, you don't see like anybody has been here since since you were last here. It looks empty and does not look like anybody has returned. You don't see any fresh tracks or any tracked in snow or mud, with the exception of what you brought in, of course. But that's about it.
Okay, let's check the shed.
All right.
Button everything back up, etc.
The shed itself also appears to be empty, from what you can see by simply looking inside of it.
And detect magic is active or inactive right now?
I don't know how long it was. Would I have needed to do another one?
No, it's right at the tail end, but
Okay.
Nothing.
So if they're hidden, it's not magically.
Well, shit.
And Otto, you would know, like, while magic could be used, you would have to see a person who has magic on them. So, like an invisibility spell would actually not have detect magic see it.
Yeah.
So there are ways around it, especially for somebody trained in like arcane arts and sciences.
So pokey
I'll tell
sticks in the
Kaido to poke
corners.
every corner with his sword in case he finds somebody, make him bleed.
Uh, we're just gonna have to scour it like that.
He's gonna just do a whirlwind attack with his with bow and just like take apart the whole shed.
Just need to.
Please don't.
I have an idea. This is a throwback, but we'll smoke him out.
Well, it'll work because Lucy's not here to actually stop using ice.
I have a spell that can put you in spicy timeout. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Oh my.
What is it?
Banishment.
You just get so you just get yeeted to the astral plane for a minute's time.
I can literally put you in timeout.
Let's see.
Does he
I
have
mean,
to-
we're
does he
just
have
gonna
to
have to
fail
like
something, or
scan
does
the
it
whole
just
entire
works?
place. I
Do
don't
we
know what
have
else
any
we can do.
methods of detecting invisibility?
True sight, if anybody has that with goggles. Do the goggles give you that, or is it just dark vision?
Just should be
Just
just dark vision, and I don't think double sight actually gives me see invisibility. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Let's see. This is what double sight.
Oh, you know what I think I could do? I could try casting Dispel Magic on, like, in the buildings. Though, I don't know if that would work. Like, you can't, like, Dispel Magic frag a room, right? You have to target something?
Let me just check.
Or magical effect within range. But I wouldn't know if there's a magical effect for me to target. I don't know how that works.
Choose one
Guys, we're playing
creature,
hide and seek
object,
in
or
D&D.
magical effect with range. I guess. Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any spell.
Would it be something like, if I suspect there's invisibility going on here, or would it not specify? Or
That's an interesting question. 1 second while I check.
Also, let me see. Invisibility. If you're hit with invisibility, do you need to? If you're invisible and something hits you, that's, I don't know, say area of effect. Does that cause a save to occur?
Yeah, they would have to. Any area of effect thing that an invisible person is caught in that damages them would force a concentration check.
it is a good thing Lucian's not here.
Yeah.
Although,
Hang on. I know what to do. Fireball.
you know what I could do? I could cast one of my AoE damage spells because I designate friendlies in it or not in it.
Just gonna walk around the house.
Yeah, like literally walk around and do the scream test, but with a fucking meat person.
All right. How many people can you designate to be friendlies?
Basically unlimited. Let me check the descriptions of both spells just to see which one would make more sense. Yeah, I'm gonna do Spirit Guardians. Yeah, so.
Okay.
Graham just kind of calls up spirits that whirl around him, and they poltergeist the shit out of things, but they don't like move. They don't like leave their spots. It's like the Vampire the Masquerade thing before they start flying at you in the beach house.
All right. And does this? Let's see. Is that affected by cover in any way, shape, or form?
It should not be.
Okay. So in essence, you're basically just designating everybody but Ingar as your safe within the zone. Then.
If that's how it works, absolutely.
You can.
No, I guess that would leave third-party murderers untouched.
Oh, okay. No. Graham would know enough. You can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it.
Okay, so basically, like literally just the party, and I'll have to yell at anybody who randomly shows up not to.
Yeah.
How would I have a Yeah, I don't know how this would work. Actually, I don't think this would work.
Yeah, otherwise Graham would just be walking through town microwaving the townsfolk.
Just undead radiation.
But
Oh, I
I
forgot to
feel
turn
like
this off. I'm so sorry.
Graham would know enough about his own spells to know that like
Not
how
when
they
he's drunk all the
work.
time.
How does this work? Actually, I have this spell. Can
Locate
I use that for a
object.
person?
Describe or name an object. No, it would need to be an object, and they would need to be the object would need to be familiar to you.
Hmm.
So if you had like an object being held by them that you had already like seen or maybe had at least heard about.
Wouldn't the boot that they're walking around be the object?
That would not be familiar enough, no.
I think it would be, but
It's because it's not familiar to you. It's just a random boot that somebody's wearing.
that match. Okay. Okay.
It's a work boot. It's one of many. That's why it wasn't suspicious at first.
So Graham is gonna pass that spirit guardians, and he's gonna walk through the shed, and he's gonna go back and walk through the house.
Um, Nothing that Graham can see occurs while that happens.
And that's like getting everything, like going upstairs, like basically covering the interior.
Yeah, it's like a half bubble, like a semicircle. So I imagine Graham hits like the entirety of like the area with it.
All right, damn. Oh, it was worth a try for a thing.
Good try.
All right. I mean, if there's nothing here, unless there's like conventional tracking we could find, then maybe do survival on our way out to see if we find those tracks came back here aside from ours.
Okay. Yeah, if you'd like, you can do a survival roll.
No D4,
If I could
I
impose
will-
on our rabbit.
I will assist.
and I'll D4 for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fern, looking around, you only really see your prints.
Yeah.
It does not look like any new prints have occurred since this morning when you first investigated this house.
Yeah. Then that could be good.
I think we'll get.
And Graham will drop the spell before we re-enter town.
Oh, okay.
No accidentally microwaving people.
Aw.
Next time, buddy.
Well, you'd be next to this guy ready for an execution too. And then he'd open his mouth and you just do the spell again and microwave him too.
All right. So what are you all doing? You heading back to the public house or
Do we want to check the?
Oh, we're checking the other house.
check the other house? Okay.
I thought that's what we were doing.
Yeah. All right. So you head to Alfdale's cottage.
Yep.
Okay. From what you can see, the house looks similar to how you last left it.
Okay. Are we? Yeah. Go in, inspect it again. Do most of the same stuff.
Okay. Give me another survival roll.
Survival or investigation?
Either or.
I would
Or
assist.
perception. if
I
you-
would assist with investigation.
Okay.
I will roll with advantage. 18.
Graham, you don't see. It does not look like there's been any change since you last went to this building this morning. You don't see the evidence that people had been there previously. Looks pretty empty.
All right.
Like, wizard dude, we don't want to execute you. We actually want the other guy to die, but just like, bro, talk to us.
Otto, make a persuasion roll.
Nice.
No one
walls don't answer
responds.
back.
No one responds.
Shit.
I would have laughed if that actually worked.
Just comes up behind you. Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, so we're cool.
I
I
can
was
tell
like,
from the
bro-
tone of your voice that you're awesome. Um,
When it matters, I'll roll like a 1.
yeah. I think. Did you pop another detect magic in here? Have you done that?
I can use detect magic 3 more times because we use the tail end on the last building.
All right, I think
Okay.
you need to pop one in here.
Okay.
Right.
Give us the lowdown hoedown.
Okay. So do I see anything with detect magic?
You do not know.
Okay.
Okay, just to be sure.
Stab every corner with Val.
Just use him as like a
A prodding,
prodding tool.
like a walking stick. Invisible wizards like dancing around Val.
How many indignities can we make a sword go through? It's a lot.
What time of day is it right now?
It's night. It's like probably you put it to 5 or 6 p.m.
Oh, not too late. I mean, we need to wait till tomorrow until we can do a good interrogation with this guy.
Yeah, but I think he specified we have to find the other guy to even get that far.
He
did
said
I-
you can. He said that you need to find the culprit in order to cancel the execution, but you can continue your investigation. You're just running out of time.
Yeah. We do know he will be at the execution, though. That might be the time we have to grab him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Question is how. Would detect magic detect this guy's self?
That's a good
If he was
question.
wearing anything magical, maybe.
Magic.
Or maybe a disguise self on himself.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Disguise self would be detectable by detect magic.
Okay. Okay. So that's something to think about. He may have higher level stuff that isn't, but we can use detect magic pretty freely. So we can do that at the crowd
Yeah, I have it.
during
I'll
the
have it available
assassination
tomorrow,
or
and so will
assassination
Auto.
execution.
So we'll at least have 2 people with detect magic. I don't know if anybody else has it too, but all of us should pop it at the same time and kind of survey the area.
All right. So, what would you all like to do now?
I guess we can go back and do a long rest.
Go back,
Get ready to
have an
change our
in night.
spell selections and whatnot.
Where are we staying at the? Where are we staying? I can't remember.
We're at the public house.
Everybody's drinking now over there, right? For the most part.
The decent. Yeah.
If my detect magic isn't up, I'll go in there with detect magic up and see if anybody's disguised.
All right. You pop a detect magic, but scanning the room, you do not see any glow from the detect magic in this room.
Okay. Any chance of like how many people are there?
Looks about 20, maybe 30 people. It's a
Okay.
good portion of the town, but not even half.
Yeah, if I'm like walking through and doing like a like a not really like super thorough like scan, could I remember most of these faces? Like, are they distinct enough that I could do that?
Most of these people look like average townsfolk. You could attempt to recall their faces later on if you'd like, but
We do have the town tax records, so we would be able to take a census and find an extra head.
My thing is somebody that looks a little standing out, I guess.
if you'd like, you could do an insight check to see.
Yeah.
Could I assist with that, or make it?
One or the other would be able to make it.
Where's my insight? Where are you? There you are.
Everybody looks pretty normal. I mean, really, the topic that you could really overhear is excitement over Hugo getting executed tomorrow, or
Damn.
unless Sir Thrum delays it by another day, you hear.
I mean, I'm excited for him being executed too because I don't like him.
Dude, I don't like him either, to be honest with you. But
Can I roll my own insight, or do we go with that one?
You could go roll your own.
Eh.
You don't really see anybody suspicious or anybody standing out. Most people have a celebratory mood. You really do overhear a lot of people just mentioning how they're excited about Hugo getting executed. Hopefully tomorrow
What
night.
an asshole.
Finally got Hugo. Bastard.
that bastard, yeah.
You really just hear. I mean, you actually do see Sir Thrum there. Yeah, he's just in the back corner with the two cages, including Hugo, who overhears all of this.
Probably just trying to keep him from jeering at him and throwing shit at him through the bars.
Probably. So I wonder who's taking over the boating business after he's headless.
It is a good question.
It is a good question.
So I think we've got our plan for next time. Do we want to call it here or go for it?
I'm good either way.
We should. You mean after this long rest?
It's
Well,
2:45
immediately after this
PM,
long
I
rest
mean.
we are, but I mean, like, do we pause the session because it's?
Oh,
I would
almost
say go
3?
through the long rest first, and then we'll pick it up from there.
Okay.
Yeah, this way it's a morning when we start instead of
Yeah.
More
Mhm.
afternoon.
all our stuff is recharged. We don't have to worry about it.
Just in case we forget. Yeah.
All right.
And I also want to hit this button because I'm really excited about trying it.
So there's beds upstairs. This is one of the few two-story buildings in town. So we were able to actually get a room.
Yep.
Sweet. How much is that going to be?
This is all public, so
Oh, so nice.
the bartender doll who runs the public house and is also the mayor just says, buy 2 drinks each, and you have the rooms for free.
Done.
Easy.
So it's 2 silver each.
Okay.
I'll throw him a gold.
Oh,
Wow,
he
I'm
grabs
too
it.
expander.
Is this for tip or do you want change?
No, that's for tip.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, I'll even throw in a pillow for you.
Perfect. Thank you. 2
Val
pillows.
gets the
One for my
pillow.
sword as well, please.
Val gets the pillow. You don't.
Yeah, exactly. If he doesn't have an extra one, then I'll just give the pillow to Val.
He brings out 2 pillows.
Oh.
They are rather rough spun, and you can tell they're stuffed full of straw.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. Best we have in town.
I'll just have a couple of drinks with the gang, and then probably call it an early night for Kaido.
All right.
A big day tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go through your long rest. Everybody gets the benefit of that. You wake up in the morning, and we will pause the session here and pick this up next week.
I really thought he was going to be like, and you find Hugo dead. That's gonna be, oh no!
God damn it!
You're late.
Yes, he's dead.
Yeah, I know. On one hand, oh
Like,
no.
you know
And
what?
gold.
We're all gonna just run down there and join the party.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So I'm gonna stop.